Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades as per usual. And let's get right into it here. And right now, again, another wonderfully light volume day in the markets. A very nice float up as per usual. This is just business as usual right now. Right, and the SPY is climbing to 464. In the after hours, we are even higher. So again, just to confirm with you guys, the July pivot has been taken out, and right now we are probably in a fifth wave. So we're just finishing up the final move up, and it could go on for a while, right? So these things can continue on and go on and on and on, but eventually everything all good things come to an end. But we don't know, how long this is going to take. And for the time being, it's okay to just sit on your long positions and let it float up. But just know that eventually we will get that reversal. So we got that news today on the CPI. And funny enough, it actually was higher than expected on the month over month. And the market sold off initially. And the year over year was flat, so as it came in line with expected at 3.1%. And the markets, they sold off at the open, right? A little bit of a gap lower, I think. And then we just got a nice, gentle float up throughout the rest of the day, right? So I believe the open was like somewhere around here. Let me see. We're Tuesday today, so. Got Tuesday open right here. Yeah, there we go. So we dropped at the open, and then a nice gentle float up throughout the rest of the day. So overall, nothing has changed. Same thing. We are just looking to see when this is going to end. And we got pretty big pivotal news tomorrow, which is going to be the Fed fund rate and the FOMC statement. And then we can take a look at the small caps. So the small caps actually had a decent sized drop as well. Fell almost an entire percentage point. And then reversed the gains and ended flat on the day, basically. And the Qs are very close to their all-time highs. The all-time highs are basically, at this point, 2% away. The SPY all-time highs is essentially 3% away. And the Dow Jones is even closer, with being away by only like 0.5% away from their all-time highs. So overall, the markets are very, very bullish. They do not see any bad news in the coming years or year, just 1 year ahead. Like, they don't see anything bad. They see a soft landing, rate cuts, perfect growth in the economy, no problems at all. Although we actually know that the underlying problems are there, but the market can stay irrational, right? And detached from what is actually happening, because they're looking at the government numbers, and the government numbers are showing everything is fine for the time being. But that's if that's what we have to work with, right? Then the markets are going to go up. So there's no sense in fighting it, right? So just let the market do what it wants, because I know there's a lot of people in shorts. I'm in shorts as well, right? But I'm well hedged, right? I also have longs, so I'm always ready for the markets to go up or down. But now the big $1 million question is going to be like, when is it going to end, right? And I have this mapped out, which is our bullish scenario, that we're going to come up in a 1, right? The 1 will finish at one point. I don't know if it's going to finish tomorrow or in a couple of weeks, right? But overall, it will end at one point. Then we'll get our wave 2 pullback, which is going to be probably your last buying opportunity. And then you'll come up in a very parabolic wave 3, a very probably a small 4, right? And then a 5, right? To new all-time highs. And this is going to be like maybe the blow-off top that we're looking for here in the markets. Looking at the daily, everything seems very extended. We got like a tiny like one day drop here, another drop here. Even though this was a gap higher, I got a little bit of a drop. And that was all the market needed to reload to keep floating higher. It's very light volume, right? So that's what's going to happen when you have light volume. 67 million shares traded today. So yeah, that's basically it. Looking at the daily time frame on the SPY, everything looks fine. Nothing bad is going on at the moment. increasing green money flow, which is bullish. The weekly is getting a bit of a slowdown, but again, you can move higher even with a little bit weaker dual band strength index numbers. These are still bullish numbers. Looking at the 4 hour, the fifth wave is showing like a fifth wave extension, and it should finish at pretty soon. But the momentum waves can go higher, which means the markets can go higher. And the 1 hour, you have a gentle float up as well. So again, increasing green money flow, and the momentum waves are extending as well. Now I'll take a look at the IWM here on the SPY. And actually, we haven't seen any selling recently, even after this float up, which is quite interesting. All right, and there's just buying, just pure buying. But on the IWM, we actually got a bit of a sell signal today. Let me check the futures if we got anything there. So nothing on the futures, but on the IWM, we did get some selling on the daily. So maybe they're starting to unload some positions, take some profits before the Fed announcement. Looking at the 4 hour, yeah, we got some selling as well. And we got a red cross today, so we'll have to see how this plays out. But again, everything is very extended, long in the tooth, but it doesn't mean that has to come to an end just yet. We can still go higher, believe it or not. Let's take a look at some individual names. We'll start off with ROKU because we missed ROKU yesterday. Sorry to the people who I do ROKU for on a daily basis. But ROKU is basically coming down in its wave 3 now. It should start to break these lows, and it already is trying to break the lows. So I expect ROKU to start to come back down, maybe back down to the $88 level, which would be like a 13% drop. And I know it seems like a lot now, but it's had like 100% run since the lows, right? So 93% run since the lows. So it's been an amazing ride up, but you do need to cool off. You need to take out some of these longs, right? There's going to be a lot of greedy people not willing to sell, and yeah, that's basically what I have planned for ROKU, and that's what it should be doing. We'll take a look at PayPal. PayPal is essentially finished its fifth wave. It's chopping around the highs here. It looks like it's making higher lows, so maybe it wants to reattack this level one more time to make a higher high on the fifth wave, or even burst through this level and go to the downsloping trend line that I've drawn. If it breaks through this downsloping trend line, you could be starting an entire new cycle for PayPal, and you could have actually put in a definitive low here, right? The larger cycle wave 2 could have finished, and you could be getting ready to go to new all-time highs in PayPal, which would take you to like, I don't know. I don't have anything calculated yet, but yeah, probably to new all-time highs. We'll take a look at StarBUX. So StarBUX is essentially in its wave 2. It should be coming up here. It already is starting to come up. It's just so StarBUX will probably float up gently as well. In an A wave, maybe you'll get a big down day in a B wave, and then you'll get another float up in wave C. Right? So nothing to complain about on StarBUX. Everything is going according to plan so far. This could have been your wave 3 high. Now you're in wave, this was your wave 4. You finished, you retested this level as support, and now you're starting to come back in wave 5 of wave A, right? And then you'll get a B wave retrace, and then you'll get a final C wave back up towards the upside. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for StarBUX at the moment. We'll take a look here at Apple. Apple actually had a very nice update as well today. It's got a gap fill here at a 95, I believe. Let me just take a look. Oh no, it doesn't. Sorry, that's just a 1 hour. But yeah, overall, you did technically fill a gap today on the daily, which was 194. So that filled the gap, and then you had a nice little update today in Apple. So it should be finishing up in wave 2, but it's gone over my short area, and you're pretty close to the all-time high. So I wouldn't take this trade anymore. NVDA could still be in wave 2. It looks like it is, right? It looks like it wants to keep going in wave 2, which actually still makes sense. Has it made another high? It has not. It has not made another high. So I mean, if you really want to force it, to me this looks like it wants to go higher, right? Maybe we'll go back to the 490 area or 488. But to me this looks like a little bit of a 5 wave move, 3, 4, 5, right? But so yeah, you'll probably do something like this, and you'll keep extending higher and then you could the wave 2 could finish there. But yeah, that's NVIDIA, and I mean it's a Mag 7, right? So again, everyone's buying it, but you are starting to see a little bit of rotation from growth and tech back into safety. But I mean, this is just the current market conditions that we're in. Everyone's buying these names. It's very crowded trade. There's going to be lots of buyers regardless of any sell-offs. Until you know we get a fundamental shift in the market, a very big down day that could break the back of all these stocks, and you know then they can go down. But until then, gentle float up. Let's take a look at oil today. So oil actually had a very big down day, down almost 4.5% at one point. It got a bit of a retrace and came back up. So it kind of like held in after that, and essentially the wave 2 should be in now. Now that you've taken out the lows at 69, it's confirmation that we should start to go lower in a wave 3. And I believe this will start to head down to the $60 area. And we're probably going to take out these lows here at $63, $65. The $65 level might just act as a good area of support before it fails. So I'm expecting something like this. Right? And then you'll come back down in the 5th wave of wave 3. So the 3 of 3 might even break through this, right? And then you'll come back up in a wave 4 and retest it, and then come back down in a wave 5, which could extend even lower, right? Or just go down to the $60 area, or you could bounce from it. So again, we'll have to see once we get there. So the $65 area, big psychological level, held as support for quite a bit of time in the past as well, and it has acted as resistance in the past as well. All right, let's take a look here at nat gas. So nat gas can't get out of its own way right now. Very difficult trade. It just can't. It just keeps getting pulverized every single day. But if you guys actually zoom out and we take a look at this upsloping trend line here, dating back from July 2020, this level here, we could be coming down, right, to retest this level and maybe get a nice little bounce, right? Maybe a bounce is going to be right around the $2 area, right? And then we'll, from there, maybe we'll get a huge rally, because right now we're getting a huge sell-off. But after, if we get to this level here, we could get a very big rally up. But we need oil to help us out here, because oil is definitely not helping out the energy sector, and it's kind of putting a, you know, it's a knee on its neck, right? So the oil is putting its knee down on the nat gas's neck, and it can't get up. We'll take a look at the futures, actually. Let me just check the futures. I actually did want to check the futures and this chart as well, because different natural gas charts can give you different levels. So this one is showing that we're basically almost there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we actually go down to these pivots and go down to the $2 area. Yep. And then we'll take a look at the futures. So the futures are right here, and I'll zoom out and I'll take a look at the pivots. And let's just zoom in, pivot there. Yeah. So yeah, the $2, okay, the futures is like $2.17, but every other chart is showing $2. But essentially from this upsloping trend line, we might get a big bounce. That might be a big bounce area that once we get to this level. Let's take a look at nat gas on market Cipher on the daily time frame. Yeah. So you should probably be getting a bounce pretty soon. It's getting very oversold. You're getting into red money flow now. Lots of manipulation crosses. So they are pushing it lower than it should go. And usually when that happens, you get big relief rallies. So this could be due for like a 56% rally or something, or maybe back up to the $3 level. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Let me take a look at the dollar. We'll cover the dollar here. So the dollar did get a very big bounce after hitting the 200-day on the CPI news. Tomorrow's probably going to be a pivotal moment for the markets to see. I mean, everyone is expecting the Fed to be done, right? The Fed should be done, and they should be cutting rates. Markets already pricing in rate cuts for next year, so it's like almost everyone is on the same side of the page. But if the Fed comes out more hawkish and wants to keep rates higher and maybe even raise them again, then the market might freak out, right? But right now, the market does not see that happening. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see. J. Powell could be a wild card tomorrow that the market is not expecting. But so far, everything doesn't really matter. The bad news is being negated and flipped into good news, and the market just wants to go up. So that's why we got that bullish scenario playing out. I even have like some short-term call options that just keep going up because the market keeps floating higher. You could play like short-term options and just buy like, you know, $1 up here. Like you buy a, this is not financial advice, and you probably shouldn't do this, but like I bought like a 462 call at 460, and now we're at 464. Right, and that option is getting 50%. I'm probably gonna sell it tomorrow before J Powell speaks, hopefully at a profit. But again, that's just the current market conditions that we're in. Right, it's just a gentle flow higher. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Give you guys some more updates after tomorrow. I am going to a conference, so the video quality might change just a little bit because I'm going to be doing it on my laptop. Anyways, have a good night, guys. Peace.